Hey guys, all right, I'm going to give you a quick review on the Jayco Discovery Outback. Now, we have had extras added to this. I think I saw it was $88,000 is the purchase price, and I think we ended up paying about 93 because we had to add a bunch of things in. So like the bike rack is extra, the dust extractor was extra. There's this little door in the back which was extra. There's an extra camera on the back, so you'll see back here. Can't remember if it came with one. I got an extra one added. I added extra solar panels on the roof. Maybe I got a battery upgrade, I can't remember, but they were the basic things that we got done. And each one's always like $500 or $1,000. It adds up real quick. So with the quick run around on the Caravan, this bike rack is, look, it transfers the weight to the tow ball. That's why we went with the one at the front. It is not the easiest to get your bikes up there. I would probably go with the one at the back if you can work that out with your weights. Down the side, look, it is, you basically got storage at the front here. I put this drawer in, so it doesn't come standard. Hang on, let me just work it out. That's the brand I used, and this Caravan comes with a drawer on the other side with this box on top of it. I took the box off and I put a barbecue on that one, and then I put the box over here, and with this particular brand it literally bolts on perfectly. In here is basically my dirty drawer, which has the hose, power, and the chocks, and a bunch of hose fittings and bits and bobs sort of in here. So a few tools. This just makes it easy. All I do is rock up, plug it in, plug the grey water in, plug the water in, and then we're off. So I don't know why they put the drawer on the other side. I guess is great, but realistically this is where you want it. So you could just take the drawer off the other side and put it on this side. This is your hot water system. Don't even remember what that is. That's the back of the fridge for access, and that's your cassette. I know they changed the dish on the roof so you don't have a wind-up dish for your TV. We don't use a TV anyway, so it really didn't make any difference for us. On this side, I really want an outdoor kitchen. We'll get to it later. I end up having to go with a outdoor barbecue, which is a pretty good compromise. The kitchen scenario would have been great, but they just added too much weight to the overall Caravan, so it just wasn't an option. That drawer there, that cupboard there is the section which goes under the bed. Obviously we've just got a drop down table. This here door I do find to be absolutely awesome. Locked, got to go unlock it. Really basic feature. This is actually an extra as well. Tables and chairs under there, kids, Crocs, sort of a bit of dirty stuff that we should throw into there. So when we rock up, we open up. This is an electric awning, hit the button, that goes out super easy. Also really easy to get the gear in and out. So we pretty much open this out, throw the clothes in the back, shut the door, and we're rocking and rolling. So I'm sure they all have different features every Caravan, but that one was that was a real win. It's actually been super awesome. Now, coming inside, I'm just going to turn. It's going to turn everything on. I'm really prepared for this. Okay. All right, let's get some lights on. Well, I'm going to call that east-west bed. Obviously we would like a different, the one with the center, but with a 19-foot Caravan, which is what this is, the east-west works well. So down the side here you've got a bunch of 12-volt connections. You've got a TV that come with the Caravan. We haven't bothered to hook it up, but it's underneath the bed. It's good storage down the end. Table. Look, the table can drop down and you can turn that into bed, but you've got to buy another cushion. We don't need that. We found this to be a really great setup, the L shape. They say if you go with the other shape, where the table's turned that way, it's basically a, I don't know, they call it a cafe style or a whatever style. The wheel arch is right there, so I've heard that can be a bit annoying. But we wanted to go with the L shape the whole time anyway. Let's have a look here now. Cool little drawers down there. This here is the little control center for some fuses. They also have fuses down under that seat, which is less convenient. This is for your hot water, instantaneous hot water. It tells you when it flicks on. And this is your awning, which is so basic to push out. Literally button pushes out, button pushes in. And I pretty much pull it in every night, so I don't have to think about it. Fridge. I think it's a fairly decent fridge and freezer. It's fully electric. They don't do the three-way anymore. It's just electric, so you can't do the gas. Not a big issue for us. We have run this whole place for a day. It used roughly 20%, and that was with us charging our phones, running the fridge, all the lights, having the pumps go, having hot showers, which is gas, but there's still pumps going to make that all happen. And then with the 3 solar panels on the top, which I think from memory is about 780 watt. See how I go with that, I'll check my specs. Charges up, no worries. So, we also have electric blankets. So even with electric blankets, which are 2.5 amp per hour. And I'll just show you those electric blankets right down here. This is the electric blanket. It is awesome. We went through a few different types, but this is the type you're looking for that has basically a 2-hour, 8-hour, and 12-hour, and 9 options. There's a few brands out there we tried. One didn't have the option to change the level of the heat, so it was just stinking hot and stayed on all night. Didn't work. The other one was really good, had like a low, medium, and high, but it only allowed it to stay on for 2 hours max. So it would turn off every 2 hours, and then kids would wake up. So that was a fail. Sirocco fans was an extra. That's right. These I've added. I had to add those for the electric blankets. There was already a 12-volt down there. You can see there's more Sirocco fans in here. We put 4 in. Up here, this is like your little control center. It's super basic. You got hot water, no point having the night mode on. Turn your pumps on. You don't even look at that. This here, the fresh water and grey water, they go in 25% runs. They don't give you, it's not that accurate, but it gives you a pretty good indication of roughly within 25% how much you've got. Stereo, I think it's got a CD player in there. We have used this. The one good thing is that you can Bluetooth to your phone. So you can Bluetooth that to your phone, which then has the speakers outside. We've used it once. It's a nice feature. The rest of it is radio, and the rest of it we haven't even bothered to play around with that. Storage wise, look, you can see it's pretty good storage. Little slide out drawers. Gas cooker, that was a big one. The oven's a massive win. Like, it's small, so it works. It heats up real fast. It's like an air fryer. Microwave. We don't use microwaves, so but if you did want it, it's there, it's standard. And what I do find pretty crazy, I thought this was ridiculous, but I was just here, right? Washing machine. As ridiculous as it sounds, and it's a long way off camping, we have used it. So it just gives you the option to do a load of washing before you leave camp and have it all dried up. So pretty awesome, to be honest. This here is obviously the ensuite. Shower, there's a fan at the top here which turns on, you crank that open. Toilet with a cassette out the back, and a vanity, which is really good. Now, we've done snow trips. With the snow trips, we plug in a heater, plug it up there, sit it on the bench here, and then with all these, and we're just sitting out, anything we can hook on here. We put all our jackets in there, close this up, turn that fan on up there, and run this like a dry room, and it dries the jackets from soaking wet to dry in the morning. So I was 50-50 on if I really wanted to have an ensuite or not, purely from weight and cost. And Dee really wanted it, so I was like, okay, we'll get it. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome for being able to shower here, being able to have a little bit of space. But the dry room was just like, I was like so pumped. In the back of the canopy, I'll show you some footage later, I actually set the back of the canopy as a dry room as well. So that dries like the gloves and the boots, and some of those elements which we sort of like just leave in there, get that cycling. So that dries those out. This dries the clothes out, and we're done. We're good. Everything's toasty warm in the morning. What else can I tell you? Obviously that's the double bunks. I like the decor. I like the green, I like the brown. Overall, pretty awesome. All the little features here are pretty standard most places. These are double glazed. They're perspex, but they're actually double glazed, which is cool. And you've got block out, or you've got your mesh to keep your mosquitoes out. So they are pretty much all over the same at the top, up here. You've got that. So you can sort of get some really good cross ventilation. The front one's got a block out, and then the other block out. So it's, look, I can't fault it. Probably the best feature, or the main feature for us, well, maybe I'll talk to side, it's a bit windy, Eddie. The main feature for us is not that we wanted to have a Jayco Discovery. This here is a Jayco Discovery Outback semi-off-road. So what that means is it has a chassis which has been upgraded, so it's a stronger chassis, and it also has, it's got some checker plate, it's raised, and it's got different shock system in it. So it's not made for full off-road, it is semi-off-road. For us, we were looking at dirt tracks, snow trips, maybe hitting the beach, maybe, but nothing extreme. I don't think that's kind of where we're heading. Even on our hunting trips, it's dirt roads the whole way in. Yes, you can get some pretty wide roads, but you don't have to. You can park the caravan before you go deep in somewhere. So we wanted Australian made. So like our checklist was, I wanted Australian made if I could get it. We wanted the ensuite. We wanted to have bunk beds, and I wanted to have an outdoor kitchen, but it was a must, and it sort of trickled down to not so needed after reviewing everything. The weight of the caravan, this is really how we ended up with the Jayco Discovery. This Discovery is 2.3 as a tare weight. Now, add in your water. This can hold 180 litres of water. 2 gas tanks at the front. both 9 litres, so you're almost at 200 kilos. So now you're at 2.5 kilos. With I've got a Ford Ranger, which is a 2019 Ford Ranger 2.2 litre diesel with a towing capacity of 3.5 tonne, but a combined capacity of 6 tonne. This stuff's pretty boring, but you've got to look into this before you get your Caravan. So with that, I went out and weighed my car with the canopy on and all the gear on there and fuel and all the rest of it. It's just under 3 tonne. So call it 3 tonne. It might be 2.9, okay? So basically right off 3 tonne there, because you can put a little extra gear in there and it's over the limit. So 3 tonne there, which meant the Caravan max had 3 tonne. Now when you're at 2.3 and then you fill the tanks up and you've got the gas bottles in, well, all of a sudden now you're at 2.5. You've got bike rack on the front, that's 60 kilos. Put the bikes on top of there, another 4 bikes. I'm throwing a number out here, but it's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 20 kilos a bike, roughly. So, you know, and then you've got any of the little extras you add onto, like we got the dust suppressing little device there. Well, it's only a couple kilos, but it's another couple kilos. You want to have food in here? That's another couple kilos. You want to have plates? Another couple kilos. You want tables, chairs, you know? You want to put your shoes in here. All those things add up. But so all of a sudden when I did the calcs, even though the basic bolt-on items were, when I say bolt-on, as in like water in the tanks, gas bottles, the extra pieces we add, like the extra solar panel, well, that's, you know, another 5 kilos or 10 kilos. When I add up just the little extras, it was like 150 to 180 kilos. So all of a sudden you're now at like 2.7 and you still haven't put anything in the car yet. You haven't got the bikes on there yet. So all of a sudden you're 2.8 and you just see the number just chews up. So I did all my calcs and I worked out that I would be approximately 100 kilos underweight. And everyone knows that it's really easy to blow out another 100 kilos. And I put in my calcs everything from like the boxes that things went in, you know, like allowing places for all these little bits and bobs. Anyway, so yeah, the weight was the most, really narrows down your product, you know. We couldn't get an off-road, not with the ensuite. So we either had to have like smaller Caravan to get an off-road or a pop top. We didn't want a pop top. I grew up with, we were mostly in tents, but then we had a camper van, which is pop top, which was excellent. But I was like, I want to be able to pull over on the side of the road and make lunch. I know it's ridiculous, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to rock up to the campsite, park. That was it. I want to be able to park. I literally park, take it off the take the Caravan off. If we're doing a one night, I don't put down the stabilizers, put the handbrake in, chock the wheels, plug in the water if need be. Really, minimum I'm just plugging in power because we've already got tank water. I wanted to get that set up to be like super basic, and that's why I went with the hardtop. Hardtop, oh, I can't remember. I'm gonna say it was 200-300 kilos, depending on the size of the Caravan and all the rest of it. It did add up. Fuel economy is another big one, which comes with the weight and with a hardtop, because you're basically pulling a brick along the freeway. With my car, I'm getting between 19 litres to 22 litres per 100 kilometres. I've done quite a few trips going from Husky to the snow. It's quite windy, it's up and down. There's also freeways, so it's a pretty good mix. And on the way there, it's about 21.5, and on the way back, it's 19. So the terrain does make a big difference. And that's with a full setup, everything loaded, and kids in the car, fuel, all the rest of it. On those trips, I don't fill the tanks until I get there. So, you know, that is 200 kilos of weight, 180 kilos of weight, which we don't. Although I have had half a tank in there quite often, and it hasn't made much of a difference. So yeah, fuel economy was a big one. The weight, it's terribly slow going uphill, but I think the fuel economy is pretty good for a car with a 2.2 litre diesel. So overall, really happy with the product, visual, practical. We've been using it now for a couple months, since February. Only weekenders. And over time, I'm sure we'll get some more reviews and give you some more feedback. I'm sure something will break in that time. And we'll just update you, let you know how it goes. So I hope that's been helpful. I'm sure I've missed heaps of stuff, but that should give you a pretty good overview of a 2026 2026 Jayco Outback Discovery. Anyway, big tune of life. Till next time.